Ashli Babbitt, the fatal shot that sparked a nation's mystery. January 6th, a day of reckoning, a day when the nation's capital turned from a beacon of democracy into a symbol of chaos. Among the thousands that converged on Washington, D.C., one woman would face a moment that would change history forever. Her name was Ashli Babbitt, a decorated Air Force veteran, a woman of conviction, caught between the lines of patriotism and tragedy. But how did she find herself on the wrong side of a barricade, and why was her life taken in a single heartbeat? Today, we dive into the world of one woman's beliefs, one nation's chaos, and the mystery behind the shot that echoed around the world. To understand Ashli Babbitt's journey, we have to go back to the beginning, to a different time, to a different Ashli. She grew up in the sunlit suburbs of Southern California, the kind of girl who dreamt big and followed through. From a young age, Ashli was fiercely independent, always seeking a cause to fight for. And that fight began with service. She joined the U.S. Air Force, a decision that would shape her into the disciplined, duty-bound woman she would become. Friends remember her as resilient, patriotic, and willing to go above and beyond for what she believed in. But as the years went by, the world around Ashli began to change. And so did she. Tensions in America were rising. Political debates turned into shouting matches, and social media became a battleground of beliefs. Ashli was watching, listening, and eventually, she became a part of it. Slowly, her online presence became her voice, a voice of resistance, a voice calling for change. And like a flame sparked from embers, her passion for politics grew until it consumed her. In 2020, Ashli's posts were unfiltered, raw, and determined. One post read,
"I can't stand back and watch my country crumble."
To her, it wasn't just rhetoric. It was a call to action. And as the months went on, the urgency in her words became more intense. Friends described this time as a turning point. She wanted to do something, they said. She couldn't just sit back anymore. Her voice wasn't just an opinion, it was a mission. But what happens when a mission turns into an obsession? And how far can conviction take you before it crosses a line? The lead up to January 6th was tense, like the calm before a storm. Across the country, rallies were held, speeches given, and the Capitol protest became the focal point of a divided nation. For Ashli, this was the moment she had been waiting for, a chance to be heard, to stand up for what she believed was right. She packed her bags, left her California home behind, and made the journey across the country. To her, it felt like destiny. And then, the day arrived. It was early in the morning, but the streets of Washington, D.C. were already filling with people. Ashli stood among the crowd, flags waving around her, chants echoing in unison. She felt alive, united with those who shared her beliefs. As the hours ticked by, the crowd swelled, and the tension began to build. What started as a peaceful protest began to boil over, and before anyone knew it, the Capitol was overrun. Ashli moved with the wave of protesters surging toward the Capitol steps. She felt invincible. This was her chance to make a difference, but the Capitol Police inside the building were on high alert, barricading doors, preparing for the worst. Two worlds were about to collide, and neither knew what the outcome would be. Amid the chaos, Ashli found herself at a barricaded door, the last line between the protesters and the inner chambers of Congress. her eyes locked on the shattered glass window, a window of opportunity. But on the other side of the door, a Capitol police officer's eyes locked on Ashli. His hand tightened around his weapon. In that split second, the tension reached its peak, and then a gunshot rang out. Ashli fell to the ground. The world stood still for a breath, and then chaos erupted around her. Protesters screamed, officers scrambled, and Ashli's life slipped away in a moment of violence that would rock the nation. Medics rushed to her side, but it was too late. Her life ended on that cold marble floor, her story turning from protest to tragedy. The world watched in horror as news of Ashli Babbitt's death spread like wildfire. Social media lit up with questions. Was she a hero? A misguided protester? And who was to blame? The officer who fired the shot was immediately placed under investigation. Some called him a protector of democracy, others a killer who acted out of fear. In the days that followed, Ashli's name became a flashpoint in the nation's debate. On one side, she was seen as a martyr, a patriot who gave her life for her beliefs. On the other, she was labeled a domestic terrorist, a threat to democracy who put lives in danger. The theories poured in. Was her death necessary to protect others? Or was it an overreaction, a consequence of a day spiraling out of control? The investigation into Ashli Babbitt's death was swift, thorough, and controversial. The Capitol Police reviewed hours of footage, testimony, and evidence to determine if the shooting was justified. The officer who fired the shot was eventually cleared of wrongdoing. But for many, the questions remained. Did Ashli pose a real threat? Did she deserve to die? And would anything have been different if that gun had not been fired? For Ashli's family, the pain was unimaginable. They demanded answers, justice, and closure. To them, Ashli was not just a protester. She was a loving daughter, a dedicated wife, a woman who stood for what she believed. The public debates only deepened their grief as the world discussed her actions without knowing the woman behind the headlines. Ashli Babbitt's story is not an isolated moment in history. It's a reflection of a nation divided, a symbol of how deeply our beliefs can shape our actions, for better or worse. Her legacy is complicated, a blend of passion, tragedy, and questions that may never be fully answered. What do you think? Was Ashli a victim of circumstance, or did her choices lead her to a tragic end? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're drawn to stories that challenge perspectives, break down mysteries, and explore the depths of our humanity, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. This is just one story among many, and we're here to uncover them all.